desperate mother leaves her baby at the hospital. When the nurse discovers the truth about the baby, she can't stop crying. The hospital clock read 3:45 a.m. when Nurse Anna noticed a hesitant woman standing at the entrance. She was visibly pale, holding a baby tightly in her arms. Her eyes held a mixture of fear and sorrow, an expression Anna had seen many times before. It usually foreshadowed something heartbreaking. "Can I help you?" Anna asked softly, trying not to startle her. The woman hesitated, glancing around as though searching for an escape. Finally, she stepped forward, clutching the baby even closer. I need someone to take care of him," the woman said, her voice barely above a whisper. "He can't stay with me." Anna frowned. The woman didn't seem homeless, but her eyes told a story of profound suffering. "It's okay. We're here to help," Anna reassured her. "What's your name?" The woman squeezed her eyes shut, as though trying to hold back tears. With a trembling sigh, she handed Anna an envelope. "This explains everything. Please, don't try to find me." With those words, she placed the sleeping baby in Anna's arms and walked out quickly before Anna could respond. The baby, a healthy boy about 3 months old, was taken to the nursery. Meanwhile, Anna and the hospital administrator opened the envelope, revealing a handwritten letter. "My name is Julia. My son, Gabriel, cannot stay with me. I don't have much time left, and I don't want him to suffer from my absence. Please find him a family that will love him as much as I do." The letter continued with medical details, confirming that Julia was in the terminal stages of an aggressive cancer. She wrote about her battle with the disease but made it clear that her only concern now was ensuring Gabriel's future, giving him the chance to grow up loved and cared for. Anna felt tears streaming down her face as she read. Over the years, she had witnessed countless tragedies, but something about this mother's sacrifice, leaving behind her heart at the hospital, hit her harder than she expected. Before Anna could fully process the letter, the nursery alarm went off. She rushed to find baby Gabriel crying uncontrollably. She picked him up, gently cradling him in her arms. "It's okay, little one. You're safe now. We'll take care of you. Promise." But deep down, Anna knew that Gabriel's fate had now become a race against time, just like it had been for his mother. The sun rose over the city, casting a warm glow through the hospital windows. Nurse Anna stood by the nursery, watching Gabriel sleep peacefully. His tiny chest rose and fell with each breath, unaware of the storm surrounding him. Anna couldn't shake the weight of Julia's letter. The words haunted her as she thought about the woman who had walked away, leaving everything behind for the sake of her child. Later that morning, Anna met with Dr. Collins, the hospital's chief pediatrician. Together, they reviewed Gabriel's situation. "He's healthy," Dr. Collins said, flipping through the baby's medical chart, "but we'll need to alert social services immediately. He'll have to be placed in temporary care until a suitable family can be found." Anna nodded, though her heart clenched at the thought. "And what about the mother? Shouldn't we at least try to find her? She may need help herself." Dr. Collins sighed. "We could notify the authorities, but according to her letter, she doesn't want to be found. Legally, we have to respect that unless the child is in immediate danger." Anna remained silent, her mind racing. She had seen many children pass through the system, some finding loving homes, others lost in bureaucratic limbo. Gabriel deserved more than a cold system. He deserved the love his mother had wished for him. That afternoon, Anna sat alone in the break room, the crumpled letter in her hands. She reread Julia's final words, feeling the pain etched into every line. Her thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door. "Anna," said Sarah, one of the younger nurses, "there's a man in the lobby asking about a baby. He says he knows the mother." Anna's heart skipped. "Did he give a name?" "No, but he looks worried. Should I call security?" Anna stood quickly. "No, I'll handle it." In the lobby, Anna spotted a man pacing nervously by the reception desk. He was in his early 30s, with unkempt hair and dark circles under his eyes. As soon as he saw her, he stepped forward. "Are you the nurse who took in Julia's baby?" His voice was urgent, his hands trembling. Anna eyed him cautiously. "Who are you?" I'm Daniel, Julia's friend. He hesitated before continuing. I've been looking for her. She left a message, saying she was coming here. I had no idea she was sick. Anna softened slightly but kept her guard up. She left the baby in our care early this morning. Do you know where she is now? Daniel shook his head, his expression crumbling. No, she didn't tell me where she was going. She only said she couldn't take care of Gabriel anymore. His voice cracked on the baby's name. I need to help her. Anna studied him, weighing his sincerity. Julia didn't want to be found. Daniel, she made that clear. But if you truly want to help, tell me everything you know. Gabriel's future depends on it. Daniel swallowed hard. His eyes filled with a mix of desperation and determination. I'll tell you everything. Anna led Daniel into a small consultation room. His hands fidgeted as he sat down, glancing at the walls covered with motivational posters and hospital protocols. Anna remained standing, her arms crossed. Start from the beginning, she said, her tone gentle but firm. Daniel took a deep breath, his voice low. Julia and I met a few years ago. We worked at the same restaurant. She was vibrant, full of life. Then, about a year ago, everything changed. She started getting sick. At first, it was just fatigue. Then pain she couldn't ignore. He paused, his hands clenching into fists. When she finally saw a doctor, they told her it was late-stage cancer. She didn't want to burden anyone. She left her job, her friends, everything, to focus on Gabriel. Anna nodded, her expression softening. She loved him deeply. That much is clear. Daniel's eyes glistened. He was her world. But when she found out she had only months left, she didn't want Gabriel to watch her fade away. She thought this would be better, that he'd have a chance at a better life. Anna exhaled slowly, her heart heavy. Do you know if Julia has any family? Someone we could reach out to? Daniel shook his head. She was on her own. Her parents passed years ago, and she didn't have siblings. Anna thought for a moment. And you? Are you prepared to step in for Gabriel? To provide him with the care and stability he needs? Daniel looked down, his face clouded with guilt. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I barely make ends meet myself. But if it means honoring Julia's wishes, I'll do whatever it takes. Anna watched him carefully. His sincerity was undeniable, but she knew this wasn't a decision to be made lightly. Listen, she said, her voice steady. There's a process for cases like this. If you're serious, you'll need to work with social services. They'll evaluate your situation to see if you're a suitable guardian. In the meantime, Gabriel will stay here, where we can ensure he's safe and cared for. Daniel nodded, though his expression remained strained. I just want what's best for him, and for Julia to know that I tried. Anna reached out, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Then let's take it one step at a time. Later that evening, as the hospital quieted, Anna found herself back in the nursery. Gabriel was awake, his wide, curious eyes fixed on the ceiling. She picked him up, cradling him gently. You don't even know how much you're loved, do you? She whispered, brushing a hand over his soft hair. Your mother gave everything for you. As she rocked him, a sense of resolve settled over her. This wasn't just another case. She would do everything in her power to honor Julia's sacrifice and ensure Gabriel had the future his mother dreamed of. The next day, Daniel returned with social services for an initial interview. Anna observed from a distance, noting the nervous energy in his posture. It was clear he was committed, but the journey ahead would be anything but easy. After the meeting, Daniel approached Anna again. They're starting the process, he said, his voice a mix of hope and fear. They said it could take weeks, maybe months. Anna nodded. It's a thorough process, but it's meant to protect Gabriel. In the meantime, you can visit him here. Daniel's face softened with relief. Thank you for everything. Before he left, Anna handed him a copy of Julia's letter. I thought you might want to keep this. Daniel stared at the paper, his hands trembling as he unfolded it. As he read, silent tears streamed down his face. When he finally looked up, his eyes were filled with a fierce determination. She was stronger than anyone I've ever known, he said. I won't let her down. Anna watched him leave, her own heart heavy with the weight of Julia's legacy. The road ahead would the days turned into weeks. Gabriel remained in the hospital's care, his every need met by the attentive staff. Despite his uncertain future, he thrived under their watch. His laugh, a bright, infectious sound, echoed through the nursery, lifting the spirits of everyone around him. Daniel visited every chance he got. At first, his visits were awkward. He wasn't used to holding a baby, and his clumsy attempts often left Gabriel fussing. But with time, he grew more confident. Anna would catch glimpses of them through the nursery window, Daniel cradling Gabriel, softly singing or simply gazing at him with a protective tenderness. One afternoon, during one of Daniel's visits, Anna approached him with a clipboard. "I thought you might like to know how Gabriel's doing medically," she said, handing him a detailed report. Daniel took it, scanning the pages. His eyes widened. "He's healthy. Perfect, even." Anna smiled. "He's a strong little guy. Julia must have done a great job taking care of him." Daniel nodded, a shadow crossing his face. "She did. Even when she was in pain, Gabriel was her priority." Anna hesitated, then spoke carefully. "How are you holding up? With social services, I mean." Daniel sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's been tough. They're thorough, asking about my finances, my living situation. Everything. I'm trying to meet their requirements, but it feels like climbing a mountain." Anna's expression softened. "You're doing everything you can, and that counts for a lot. Just keep going." Daniel nodded, his jaw set with determination. "I won't give up. Gabriel deserves a family that loves him. And if I can be that family, I will." One night, as Anna was finishing her shift, she noticed a familiar figure lingering near the hospital's entrance. It was Julia. Anna's breath caught. Julia was thinner than before, her skin almost translucent under the harsh streetlights. She wore a scarf tightly around her head, a clear sign of the treatment she had endured. Her eyes, though sunken, still held that same fierce love. Anna rushed outside. "Julia?" Julia flinched but didn't run. Instead, she offered a weak smile. "I couldn't stay away," she whispered. "I had to see him." Tears welled up in Anna's eyes. "You should have come sooner. Gabriel is safe, but he misses you." Julia looked away, guilt etched into her face. "I know I can't stay. I just wanted to see him, even if it's from a distance." Anna hesitated before gently touching Julia's arm. "Come inside, just for a little while." In the quiet nursery, under the soft glow of the overhead lights, Julia stood by Gabriel's crib. Her eyes filled with tears as she watched him sleep, his tiny fist curled around a blanket. "He's beautiful," she whispered, her voice trembling. "So full of life." Anna stood nearby, giving her space. "He's a fighter just like his mother." Julia smiled faintly, though her tears continued to fall. "I've made peace with what's coming, Anna. But knowing he's loved, that's all I needed." Anna felt her throat tighten. "You've done more for him than most could, Julia. And Daniel, he's fighting for Gabriel too." Julia's eyes flickered with recognition. "Daniel? He's been here every day," Anna said softly. "He's determined to give Gabriel the life you wanted for him." Julia nodded, a bittersweet smile on her lips. "That's all I could hope for." As the moments passed, Julia leaned down, gently kissing Gabriel's forehead. "I love you, my sweet boy," she whispered. "Always." She straightened, wiping her tears. "I should go." Anna placed a hand on Julia's shoulder. "You're welcome here anytime." Julia hesitated, then nodded. "Thank you, Anna, for everything." She walked away, leaving Anna standing by the crib, her heart heavy with the weight of their shared secret. The following morning, Anna couldn't shake the memory of Julia's late-night visit. She felt torn between her promise to Julia and her duty to protect Gabriel's future. As she prepared for her shift, her mind raced with questions. Should she tell Daniel? Would Julia come back? And, most pressing of all, how much time did Julia have left? When Anna arrived at the hospital, Daniel was already there, seated in the nursery with Gabriel in his arms. He looked up as Anna entered, his face lighting up briefly before settling into a more serious expression. "I wanted to thank you," he said, "for everything you've done. I don't know how I'd manage without your support." Anna smiled, though her thoughts lingered on Julia. "You're doing great, Daniel. Gabriel is lucky to have you." Daniel looked down at the baby, who was now babbling softly. "I hope I'm enough for him." Before Anna could respond, Dr. Collins walked in, carrying a folder. "Daniel," he greeted, then turned to Anna. "There's something we need to discuss. Can we step outside?" Anna's stomach tightened as she followed Dr. Collins into the hallway. "We've received a report from social services," he began. "They've reviewed Daniel's case, and while he's made progress, they're concerned about his financial stability and lack of family support. They're leaning toward placing Gabriel in foster care." Anna's heart sank. "Foster care? But Daniel is doing everything he can." Dr. Collins sighed. "I know, but their system prioritizes stability. Unless something changes drastically, Daniel might lose his chance." Anna felt a surge of frustration. "There has to be another way." Dr. Collins gave her a sympathetic look. "If you can find one, let me know. But for now, this is where things stand." Later that day, Anna found Daniel in the hospital's courtyard, staring blankly at the fountain. She approached cautiously. "Daniel," she began, sitting beside him, "I need to be honest with you. Social services is still concerned about your situation." Daniel's face fell. "What does that mean? Are they taking him away?" Anna placed a hand on his shoulder. "Not yet, but they're considering foster care as an option." Daniel shook his head, his eyes filling with desperation. "No, I can't let that happen. Gabriel deserves to be with someone who loves him." "I know," Anna said softly, "and I believe in you. But we need to find a way to prove to them that you can provide that stability." Daniel buried his face in his hands. "I've already sold everything I could to afford a better place. I'm working double shifts. What more can I do?" Anna hesitated, her mind flashing back to Julia's visit. She knew she was about to take a risk. "There's something you need to know." Daniel lifted his head, his eyes searching hers. "Julia came to see Gabriel last night," Anna admitted. Daniel's breath caught. "She was here?" Anna nodded. "She didn't stay long. She's in worse shape than I expected. But she needed to see him. And she mentioned you." Daniel's voice was barely a whisper. "What did she say?" "She's grateful for everything you're doing," Anna said gently. "She believes in you, Daniel. But she's running out of time." Daniel's hands clenched into fists. "I have to find her. She shouldn't be alone." Anna hesitated. "Do you think she'd let you help her?" "I don't know," Daniel admitted. "But I have to try." Anna nodded. "Then let's do it together. We owe it to both Julia and Gabriel to make sure they're cared for." Daniel looked at her, a glimmer of hope returning to his eyes. "Thank you, Anna. I don't know where to start. But I won't stop until I find her." As they stood, Anna felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would fight for Gabriel's future, and for Julia's final moments to be filled with the love she had so selflessly given. The search for Julia began immediately. Anna and Daniel scoured the city, visiting shelters, clinics, and any place where she might seek refuge. Days passed with no sign of her, and the weight of uncertainty grew heavier. One evening, as Anna prepared to leave the hospital, she noticed a folded note slipped under the door of the nurse's station. Her name was written on it in shaky handwriting. She opened it quickly, her heart racing. "Anna, thank you for everything. I'm safe, but I can't stay in one place for long. Please take care of Gabriel. I know you will do what's best for him. I trust you. Julia." Anna's hands trembled as she read the note. Julia was alive, but still determined to stay hidden. She folded the note carefully and slipped it into her pocket. The next morning, Anna showed the note to Daniel. "She's reaching out," Anna said. "That means she's still nearby." Daniel studied the note, his jaw tightening. "We have to find her, Anna. She needs to see that she's not alone, that she doesn't have to carry this burden by herself." Anna nodded. "I agree, but we also need to think about Gabriel. Social services won't wait forever." Daniel's eyes darkened with determination. Then we'll give them what they want. Stability, proof that Gabriel will be safe with me. And that includes Julia, if she'll let me help her. Anna hesitated, then made a decision. There's one place we haven't checked yet. A clinic downtown that specializes in palliative care. If Julia's looking for medical support, she might go there. Daniel didn't wait. Let's go. The clinic was small, tucked away on a quiet street. The receptionist looked up as they entered, her smile polite but wary. "Can I help you?" she asked. Anna stepped forward. "We're looking for someone, Julia. She might be a patient here." The receptionist frowned. "I'm sorry, but I can't give out patient information." "Please," Daniel interjected, his voice urgent. "She's the mother of my son. She's very sick, and we just want to help her." The woman hesitated, then seemed to soften. "Wait here." After a few tense minutes, a doctor appeared, his expression cautious. "You're looking for Julia?" he asked. "Yes," Anna said. "We know she's unwell. We just want to make sure she's okay." The doctor sighed. "She's here, but she's in fragile condition. She's asked not to have visitors." Daniel stepped forward. "Please, doctor. She's carrying this all alone. If she knows we're here for her, it might make a difference." The doctor studied them both for a long moment, then nodded. "Follow me." In a quiet room at the end of the hall, Julia lay in a hospital bed. Her skin was pale, her breathing shallow. When she saw Daniel and Anna enter, her eyes widened in surprise. "Julia," Daniel whispered, his voice breaking. "We've been looking for you." Tears filled Julia's eyes. "You shouldn't have come." Daniel knelt beside her bed, taking her hand. "You don't have to do this alone. Let me help you." Julia shook her head weakly. "It's too late for me, Daniel." "But not for Gabriel. That's why we're here," Anna said gently. "We want to honor your wishes. But Gabriel deserves to know how much you love him. And you deserve to see him grow, even if just for a little while." Julia closed her eyes, a tear slipping down her cheek. "I'm so tired." Daniel squeezed her hand. "Then let us carry some of the weight. Please, Julia." After a long silence, Julia nodded. "Okay," she whispered. "But promise me, you'll take care of him." Daniel's voice was firm. "I promise." Anna's heart swelled with relief. They had found Julia, and now, together, they could fight for Gabriel's future. Julia's agreement to let Daniel and Anna support her brought a fragile sense of hope. Over the next few days, they worked together to ensure Gabriel's future was secure. Daniel's determination was unyielding as he met every requirement social services demanded, while Anna continued to provide updates on Gabriel's health and progress. At the same time, Julia's condition worsened. She grew weaker, her energy fading with each passing day. Despite her physical decline, her spirit remained focused on one thing: ensuring that Gabriel knew he was loved. One afternoon, as the sunlight filtered softly through the clinic windows, Julia asked to see Anna alone. "Close the door," Julia whispered, her voice barely audible. Anna complied, sitting gently by her bedside. "What's on your mind, Julia?" Julia hesitated, her eyes filled with a mix of sadness and resolve. "I need you to promise me something." Anna leaned in, her expression serious. "Anything." Julia took a deep breath. If Daniel can't do it, if social services decide he's not fit to raise Gabriel, I want you to step in." Anna's eyes widened. "Julia." "I trust you," Julia interrupted, her gaze unwavering. "You've been there for him since the beginning. You understand what he needs, and I know you'll give him a life filled with love and care." Anna felt a lump rise in her throat. "Julia, I'll do everything in my power to make sure Gabriel ends up where he belongs. But I believe in Daniel. He's ready to fight for Gabriel just like you." Julia smiled faintly. "I believe in him too. But life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges. I just need to know you'll be there, no matter what." Anna nodded, her voice steady despite the tears threatening to fall. "I promise." Julia's hand, frail and cold, squeezed Anna's. "Thank you. That gives me peace." As the weeks passed, Daniel's persistence began to pay off. Social services noted his improvements, a new, stable apartment, financial support from a community aid program, and a strong emotional bond with Gabriel. They scheduled a final review to determine if Daniel could officially take custody. On the day of the review, Daniel stood nervously in the hospital hallway, pacing as he waited for the social worker's arrival. Anna joined him, holding Gabriel, who babbled happily in her arms. "You've got this," Anna reassured him. "You've done everything they asked for and more." Daniel gave her a tense smile. "I hope it's enough." The social worker, Ms. Reynolds, arrived shortly after, clipboard in hand. She was a no-nonsense woman in her 50s, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "Mr. Daniels," she said, extending a hand. "Shall we begin?" Daniel led her into a private room where they discussed his progress, his plans for Gabriel, and his commitment to being a stable parent. Ms. Reynolds listened intently, occasionally jotting down notes. After nearly an hour of questions and evaluations, Ms. Reynolds finally closed her folder. "Mr. Daniels," she said, her tone measured, "based on the evidence and your dedication, I'm recommending that you be granted custody of Gabriel." Daniel's breath caught. "You mean?" She nodded. "Pending final approval from the court, Gabriel will officially be in your care." Anna, standing nearby, couldn't contain her smile. "Congratulations, Daniel." Daniel's eyes filled with tears as he turned to Gabriel, who reached out his tiny hands toward him. He took the baby gently, holding him close. "We did it, buddy," he whispered, his voice breaking. "We did it." That evening, Anna visited Julia in the clinic to share the news. Julia, though visibly weaker, managed a small, radiant smile. "That's wonderful," she said, her voice barely audible. "Daniel will be a great father." "He will," Anna agreed, taking Julia's hand. "And Gabriel will always know how much you loved him." Julia's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Anna, for everything." Anna stayed with Julia long into the night, sharing stories about Gabriel's milestones and Daniel's devotion. Despite the sorrow hanging over them, there was a quiet sense of fulfillment. Julia's greatest wish was coming true. The weeks following the custody decision were a whirlwind of change for Daniel and Gabriel. Daniel officially moved into his new apartment, a modest but warm space filled with sunlight and small touches of love. A soft blue crib, shelves stocked with baby essentials, and photos of Gabriel smiling. Anna continued to visit, offering guidance and support as Daniel adjusted to his new role. Despite the challenges of single parenthood, Daniel embraced every moment. His bond with Gabriel grew stronger, and the baby thrived in his care. But as Gabriel's future brightened, Julia's condition deteriorated. Her time was slipping away, and Anna knew the day would soon come when Julia would say her final goodbye. One evening, Anna sat beside Julia in her dimly lit room. The rhythmic hum of medical equipment filled the air, a stark contrast to the quiet, intimate conversation they shared. "How is he?" Julia asked weakly, her voice a shadow of its former strength. Anna smiled softly. "He's perfect, Julia. He's growing stronger every day, and Daniel, he's becoming the father you always dreamed he'd be." Julia closed her eyes, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "That's all I ever wanted." They sat in silence for a moment before Julia opened her eyes again, her expression serious. "Anna," she whispered, "I want to write a letter for Gabriel. Something he can read when he's older." Anna's throat tightened, but she nodded. "Of course. I'll help you." Over the next few days, with Anna's assistance, Julia carefully crafted her letter. Each word was chosen with love, every sentence imbued with the wisdom and affection she wished to pass on to her son. "My dearest Gabriel, from the moment I held you, I knew you were my greatest gift. You brought light into my life, even in the darkest moments. I want you to know how much I love you and how proud I am of the person you will become. Life may not always be easy, but remember that you are strong. You are surrounded by people who love you, Daniel, Anna, and many others who will guide you as you grow. Never doubt that you were, and always will be, my greatest joy. Though I won't be there to see you grow, my love will always be with you. Look to the stars, Gabriel, and know that I'm watching over you." cheering for you with every step you take. Be kind, be brave, and above all, be true to yourself. With all my love, Mom." When Julia finished, her hands trembled as she folded the letter and placed it in an envelope. She handed it to Anna, her eyes filled with unspoken gratitude. "Make sure he gets this," Julia said, her voice barely audible. Anna placed a hand over Julia's. "I promise." The next morning, Julia's condition took a sharp turn. Daniel rushed to the clinic with Gabriel in his arms, his face pale and stricken. Anna met him in the hallway, her expression calm but somber. "She's asking for you," Anna said softly. Daniel nodded and followed her into Julia's room. As they entered, Julia's eyes lit up, her gaze locking onto Gabriel. Daniel carefully placed the baby in her arms, his tiny fingers curling around hers. "Hi, my sweet boy," Julia whispered, her voice filled with love. Tears streamed down her face as she kissed Gabriel's forehead. "I love you so much." Daniel stood by her side, his hand resting gently on her shoulder. "He's gonna be okay, Julia. I'll make sure of it." Julia nodded, her eyes never leaving Gabriel. "I know," she said softly. "And so will you." She held Gabriel close, her breathing slowing. After a few moments, she looked up at Daniel and Anna, a peaceful smile on her lips. "Thank you," she whispered. With those final words, Julia closed her eyes, her hand still resting protectively over Gabriel. She was gone. In the quiet that followed, Anna and Daniel stood in silent reverence. Gabriel cooed softly in his mother's arms, oblivious to the profound loss surrounding him. Daniel gently lifted Gabriel, holding him close as Anna carefully arranged Julia's hands over her chest. "She was extraordinary," Daniel said, his voice breaking. Anna nodded, her own tears falling freely. "She was. And she gave him everything she had." As they left the room, Gabriel nestled against Daniel's chest, the letter Julia had written tucked securely in Anna's pocket, a lasting testament to a mother's boundless love. The days following Julia's passing were heavy with grief, but also a quiet sense of closure. Her funeral was a small, intimate affair. Daniel, Anna, and a few close staff from the hospital gathered to say their final goodbyes. Daniel held Gabriel tightly throughout the service, his silent tears falling as the priest spoke of Julia's courage and love. Gabriel, too young to understand, rested peacefully in his father's arms, a calm presence amid the sorrow. After the service, Daniel lingered by Julia's grave, his voice low but resolute. "I'll make sure Gabriel knows who you were," he promised. "He'll grow up hearing your story, feeling your love every day." Anna stood beside him, offering silent support. In her pocket, the letter Julia had written remained safely tucked away, waiting for the right moment when Gabriel would be old enough to understand. Life slowly began to take on a new rhythm. Daniel devoted himself to raising Gabriel, navigating the challenges of single parenthood with unwavering dedication. Anna remained a constant presence, offering guidance and companionship as they both adjusted to life without Julia. Gabriel's laughter filled Daniel's small apartment, a sound that seemed to light up even the darkest days. Every milestone, his first steps, his first words, was celebrated with joy, each one a reminder of the bright future Julia had fought so hard to secure. But the memory of Julia was never far. Her framed photo sat prominently on a shelf, and every night, Daniel would tell Gabriel stories about her. How brave she was, how deeply she had loved him. One evening, as the sky turned a soft orange with the setting sun, Daniel found himself sitting on the couch with Gabriel, now a curious toddler. The boy was flipping through a picture book, pointing at the images and babbling excitedly. Daniel smiled, but his mind drifted to the envelope Anna had given him earlier that week. It was time. "Gabriel," Daniel said softly, pulling the letter from a drawer. The boy looked up, his wide eyes full of trust. "This is something very special," Daniel continued, unfolding the letter. "It's from your mom." Though Gabriel was too young to grasp the significance, Daniel read Julia's words aloud, his voice steady but full of emotion. As he spoke, the weight of Julia's love and sacrifice filled the room. When he finished, Daniel placed the letter in Gabriel's hands. One day, You'll understand just how much your mom loved you, he said, his voice thick with emotion. She's a part of you, always. Gabriel giggled, clutching the letter tightly as though he could already feel its importance. Later that night, after Gabriel had fallen asleep, Daniel sat alone, staring out the window. The city lights twinkled in the distance, but his thoughts were on Julia. You gave him everything, Julia, he whispered. I'll make sure he never forgets. Anna's words from weeks ago echoed in his mind. You're not alone in this. And for the first time, Daniel truly felt it. Gabriel wasn't just his son. He was a bridge to a love that transcended even the deepest loss. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but Daniel was ready. For Gabriel. For Julia. Years passed, and Gabriel grew into a bright and inquisitive child. His laughter echoed through the halls of Daniel's home, filling it with life and warmth. His days were filled with curiosity. Endless questions about the world, adventures in the park, and bedtime stories that always included his mother. By the time Gabriel was 7, he had learned about Julia in the way children grasp big ideas, with a mix of wonder and seriousness. Daniel kept her memory alive, sharing stories of her strength and love. The letter Julia had written became a treasured keepsake, one Gabriel would sometimes ask Daniel to read aloud, its words a source of comfort and connection. One evening, as Gabriel sat cross-legged on his bed, he turned to Daniel with a thoughtful expression. Dad, he began, his voice soft, do you think Mom can see us from the stars? Daniel smiled, sitting beside him. I do, he said gently. I think she watches over us every day, and she's so proud of you. Gabriel nodded, his eyes shining. I hope she knows I love her too. Daniel wrapped an arm around his son. She knows, buddy. She always knew. Life continued to move forward, but certain milestones carried extra weight. On Gabriel's 10th birthday, Anna came to visit. She arrived with a cake in hand and a box of photographs she had carefully preserved from Gabriel's early days in the hospital. Thought you might want to see these, Anna said, smiling as she handed the box to Gabriel. Gabriel's eyes lit up as he sifted through the photos. There were pictures of him as a baby, wrapped in tiny blankets, being cradled by Anna, Daniel, and even Julia. He stopped at one particular photo of Julia holding him in the nursery, her eyes filled with love despite the evident fragility in her face. She was beautiful, Gabriel said softly, tracing his mother's face with his finger. She was, Anna agreed, her voice full of warmth. And she loved you more than anything. That evening, after Gabriel had gone to bed, Daniel and Anna sat in the quiet living room. The years had deepened their friendship, forged through shared loss and the unwavering commitment to Gabriel's well-being. You've done an incredible job, Daniel, Anna said. Gabriel is everything Julia hoped he would be. Daniel nodded, his gaze distant. It hasn't always been easy, but he's worth every moment. Anna leaned forward, her tone thoughtful. Have you ever thought about sharing more of Julia's story with Gabriel as he gets older? Letting him truly understand the depth of her sacrifice? Daniel sighed. I've thought about it a lot. I want him to know, but I also want to protect him. There's a balance. Anna nodded. When the time is right, you'll know. And when he's ready, that knowledge will only make him stronger. On a quiet summer night, Daniel stood on the balcony, gazing up at the stars. Gabriel joined him, holding the letter Julia had written, now slightly worn from years of careful handling. Do you think she can hear us if we talk to her? Gabriel asked. Daniel smiled. I do. Why don't you try? Gabriel closed his eyes, clutching the letter to his chest. Hi, Mom. I hope you're okay up there. I love you, and I'm doing my best to make you proud. Daniel felt his throat tighten, watching his son's quiet strength. In that moment, he realized Julia's love had never left them. It lived on in Gabriel, in every word, every smile, every moment they shared. As the stars sparkled above, Daniel placed a hand on Gabriel's shoulder. Together, they stood in the quiet night, connected by a love that transcended time, carrying Julia's legacy forward. The end.